logs, starboard. Tiny one off port. When we arrived at Bull Harbor, we had only planned on staying there one night, but then there was a gale force warning issued, so we ended up staying there a couple days. You can check out our shorts to see all of the animals we encountered while there. Our original plan was to head north to Alaska, but we decided the weather window was perfect to head south to San Diego. All right, we are leaving Hope Island, BC at
0810.
0810. Log. I'm his spotter.
You are helpful. You are so helpful.
The tide is low. And our cozy little spot. Lots of eagles, lots of sea otters.
Enjoyed our salmon fishing utilizing Midwest walleye rods.
And a couple spoons from our buddy Tom.
Couple spoons from our buddy Tom.
Our friends told us that this is all managed remotely from Port Hardy. It swells. It doesn't ever show up on camera, but
Nope, it does
you
not.
can see like, woo, we're way up and now we're way down. It's like a roller coaster ride. The boat before was just going like this, now it's going like this.
How's that go again? Here we are in Natawitty Bar. It separates Hope Island here to the north with the top end of Vancouver Island here. And now we're beginning to get some swells. Not bad. We're hopefully crossing the bar at the right time.
We crossed the bar with no issue. Thanks to our friends we met on the dock at Bull Harbor. Jeff was right. 0900, the wind and current were going with each other, which made for a successful bar crossing. We were officially in the Pacific Ocean. And now for some tunes from the cockpit. Here's my hot captain. We did it. We got past Whitty Bar and Cape Scott. And we got both sails up on our way south. Woohoo! Both of us had been waiting for this moment. To be out in the ocean where we could not see land in any direction. Once we passed Cape Scott, that's exactly what we got, and it was incredible. the seasickness set in. But that was nothing compared to what was about to happen. So before the sun set, the winds had started to pick up. It was about 15 knots of wind. I suggested we put a reef in the mainsail. The captain didn't want a reef yet. He'd been waiting for a long time to have all the sails out in perfect wind. All our sailing classes, all the books we've read, all the sailors we've talked to, all said remember to reef early and to reef often. This was our first time out in blue water. I decided to Google when to reef, and the second article that came up was from our friends from the rigging doctor. Herbie said a common guideline is to put the first reef in at 15 knots and the second reef in at 20. So when I showed that to the captain, he agreed then that we should put the first reef in. So thanks, Herbie. About an hour later, the winds picked up to 18, 19 knots, and so we put the second reef in. So we're sailing south, and the captain had noticed that he felt the wind on the right side of his face all day, and then at about 100, the wind shifted, and he was feeling it on the left side of his face now. All of a sudden, the boat was thrown into a spin. The autopilot just couldn't keep a heading, and so we were doing 360 so fast I couldn't even film any of it. We immediately turned off the autopilot. The helm was spinning uncontrollably, and for the next hour we experienced what felt like an amusement park ride gone bad. Now, mind you, this was in the middle of the night. It was pitch black. We had no reference of land or horizon. There were no stars. The moon had already set, so we had no reference point. The captain would lock the wheel and set a heading, and the heading numbers just kept changing. My seasickness was getting debilitating at this point because we were doing 360s. It felt like we were on a tilt-a-whirl and a scrambler and a tornado ride all at the same time. Tried using the iPad to see if I could get a heading on that, and the Navionics was not working either. I would call out in the direction that Navionics said we were heading, and the captain would try and get the boat to go in that direction. We tried that for about 45 minutes, and then the captain grabbed his Army-issued compass and got that out, and the needle on that was spinning erratically. Could not get a reading from that. After several hours of doing 360s and figure eights, we finally got a hold on the compass and headed straight east into land. The captain did 90% of the driving since I was still so sick. We have all the latest navigational tools on our boat. We have Navionics on our iPad. We have backups to our backups, and yet it was his trusty U.S. compass that got us safely back to land. We pulled into the first place we could find, which was Resolution Cove. We both thanked the Lord for getting us safely to land, and then we Googled magnetic anomalies, and up popped an article about an anomaly off the coast of Vancouver Island, exactly where we were. So I have coined that section of the water the Aleutian Triangle. We're still so shocked that all the research we did for this trip, all the books we read, articles, sailors we talked to, nobody mentioned anything about this magnetic anomaly 80 miles or so off the coast. After doing even more research, we found that we were right on top of the Cascadia fault line. There's also an article about the big one near Vancouver Island, a potential earthquake location at the spot we encountered the magnetic anomaly. During a Zoom call the next night with the rigging doctor and some of their other followers, when we told them about our experience, Herbie asked what our keel was made of. We have an 8.5-foot iron keel with a lead ballast. Our Salona yacht is also built on a steel frame, which obviously adds extra safety, but not necessarily when you're in the Aleutian Triangle. We anchored in the exact spot that Captain James Cook coincidentally also had to pull into for ship repairs way back in 1778.